Hi, welcome to Focus Feature, a product of the Telescope. I'm Lexi Thurman, the Arts and Culture Editor, and today we are interviewing Savonarola, a San Diego-based post-punk band that includes two Palomar students in their lineup. Enjoy! I want to ask each of you guys the same questions to start off with. What did you say? Start with Gabriel. What is your musical background? How did you get into music?
So I started playing bass because my brother started playing guitar, and so I needed something different to do. And so my parents got me a bass. I I started taking lessons at this private music establishment. Um and I have been playing bass for 9 years now.
Okay, awesome. And what would you say your musical influences are? What do you typically like to play on bass before you guys got into the band?
Well, playing bass, I mainly got started like just learning rock songs, just anything that it was like it was a performance-based music program. So we would learn specific songs based on like what show we were doing, like whatever it was like a cover show. And so I would
Mhm.
learn covers and that really got me into the habit of learning songs, and so it was usually rock. Right now, I'm more influenced a lot by jazz
Yeah. Okay.
and folk music as well.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Gavin, what about you? What got you into music?
Started playing drums in 4th grade, I believe, because I originally messed around with one of my like a family friend's kit, and I thought it was super fun, so I started playing because of that. And I wasn't really serious about it until probably like a year or two uh into COVID, like 2021, 2022 is when I really started like I quit baseball and I started focusing on that. Yeah, I've been probably going for it's probably yeah, like 3 years where it's just been drums. I have been doing stuff at School of Rock for like 3 years.
Mhm.
Uh but yeah, it's been going good. And I've been in this band for 2 years now, I think.
Wow, so that's
So
pretty early on that you got into this band. How I want to know what your practice habits are because you haven't been playing for that long, so that's really impressive. How often do you practice every day?
I the first few years I didn't I just messed around, I played a couple songs every day. The past 2 years I have been doing lessons with uh an instructor that has me doing like a practice plan where I practice anywhere between 1 and 2.5 hours every day. I on school days I'll usually play like 80, 90 minutes, and on weekends I'll usually play like 2 hours, depending on practice and like how much time I have that day. But yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's very very impressive there. And then what kind of music do you like to play outside of this band, or what is your main music that you love?
Uh in terms of what I feel like my drum style is inspired by, I really uh mathy stuff, and also in my free time I listen to like pop punk sometimes, and even like some like slightly emo stuff, but I also listen to like jazz and stuff like that. uh Kind of a mix of things, but I would say like math rock is probably like the basis of what I try to base my parts off of.
Okay, okay. And if you could, I'm gonna go back to Gabriel and say this as well. If you could say one band that motivated you or inspired you most, what would it be?
One band.
I gotta look at my playlist. Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess one band that like really inspired me to like start writing music, even like going way back to like when I was like 12 and stuff like that. The band Pavement was a big inspiration for me. I really liked them back then, and I still do often listen to them. I really like their writing.
I I'm not sure if this has specifically motivated me to, like, be better at music, but I've always, like I think one of the first bands I ever, like, really loved and, like, got me interested in music was Rage Against the Machine. I always really liked them when I was, like, first starting out, and I still really like them. So, probably that, even though the drumming isn't, like, super, like, technical by any means.
Yeah. No, that makes sense though. And then, okay, I'm gonna remember your name after this one. Brother, what is the what is the name?
Nathan.
Nathan. Okay. And then I'll go through the same thing with you. What is your background in music? How did you get started? And I mean, are you older brother or younger brother?
I'm the older brother.
Okay. Do you think that Gabriel, your music influences any bit piggybacked off of his in any way?
Well, yeah, we would listen to the same. We were raised on the same music. Our parents would play music for us, and even like getting into music in the first place was an idea that I stole from my brother. So, so yeah, definitely inspired me to get into music in the first place, as well as my parents.
Okay. And then to go into it, Nathan, what was
Yeah,
your
so I remember when I was like 12 or like 11 years old or like 12 years old, I saw a video of Eddie Van Halen. Just it was like this one live show that you could only find on YouTube
right?
of one of his guitar solos, and it just I thought it was so cool. Like I'm like, dude, this guy is like unbelievable levels of cool, and I want to do that. And so I asked for a guitar for my birthday. It was my 12th birthday. I asked for a guitar, and I got a guitar, and then I started playing, and it was just like this thing that I became so infatuated with gaining progress and like learning how to play different songs. It was very satisfying and very fulfilling to me, especially at like such a young age. Um, yeah, and then I've been through so many like phases of influence, I guess you could say, as far as like my musical background. I mean, I started mainly playing like Metallica and just like learning just like simple Metallica songs. And then it just blossomed from there. So yeah, that's mostly where like my background is just like classic rock, a lot of that stuff. I was in the same music school that Gabe had mentioned, so a lot of my early learnings were kind of from that. I was sort of learning things for the sake of whatever show I was in or what I needed to learn how to play. It sort of gave me a reason to keep learning new songs, and I really appreciate it for that.
Yeah. And you mentioned Metallica, right? Would that be your number one band that they wanted, like what I asked them? Would that be your number one?
No, I've definitely I've gone through many phases with my music taste. I was into Metallica for a while, and then I just got into like some classic rock like Zeppelin and Heart, and those are like my main bands for a while. Right now it's kind of a mix bag of like math rock and jazz fusion and really experimental. Like I like folk music, like Gabe said. Right now, or I guess like kind of my number one would be Frank Zappa. He was like super huge influence on like how I play guitar, and like I would watch so many videos of him like playing guitar that like I adopted a lot of the same like musical mannerisms when playing. So like I play very similarly to him. So yeah, he's probably my biggest influence would be Frank Zappa.
Okay. Awesome. What genre would you guys say that you fit in?
Rock,
No, I would say we're like kind of like a
indie.
indie post rock. Uh, we have some like math influence, some jazz influence, some punk influence. It's just kind of like a mishmash. I guess like the best like genre, I guess some other bands that we feel we write our music in lieu of is like post punk. Like a lot of our the way that our songs are structured are very reminiscent of post-punk, and a lot of post-punk bands we look up to and look for like writing inspiration and stuff like that. So I mean that would be the easiest, would just be to say post-punk, but really it's like a culmination of like a bunch of different genres that we all like.
I think every band is a culmination, really. I don't think there's any one genre band. So that makes
Yeah.
sense. And then just your music wise, what do you think motivates you guys to make music? You started this band a bit ago at this point. Why did you guys start it, and what motivates you?
So we started as a cover band. We had the motivation to make a band because we wanted to be in a band. And so like me and my brother, it wasn't too hard to get that together. And then we had one of our friends from this music school be our drummer for a while, and we started out playing covers, like just playing cover shows, like around our neighborhood, birthday parties.
Yeah.
Uh,
Parties, stuff like that.
yeah, and then we started writing music, probably around 2020, and we released our first EP, recorded at home. And after that, we wrote some new material, and then Gavin joined us. So we've been writing with him since then.
Our writing style has like significantly changed since Gavin
Also stagnated.
joined the band. It's also stagnated, which is more behind the scenes. But
What do you mean by that? What was it before, and what is it now?
so before it was more alternative rock. It was a lot more grunge,
Definitely.
more alternative rock influence, more think like 90s, like Smashing Pumpkins, Pixies, stuff like that. Which was largely due to our drummer's influence, because I mean, in my opinion, I think a band's really only as good as their drummer, and the way that songs flow will directly correlate to the drummer's style. So I mean, when our drummer changed, our style changed. So it's kind of shifted into the direction of like more math rocky, more post punky. But before it was more very 90s rock.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, and then that's his influences, so that totally makes sense. And what would you say your song making process is? If you sit down and make a song, what's the process there?
Usually, like one person just kind of like brings an idea to the table.
It's usually you. It's almost always you.
Usually, one person.
Not recently.
Usually, one person will bring an idea.
Oh wait, that's true.
An idea to the table, and then we just kind of like explore it, and then we spend like a week on it to see if it's worth it.
And then like 90% of them get scrapped about like a week into the writing.
And then we rediscover them like 3 months later, and we're like,
We're like, wait,
why
that
did we
was
give up
actually
all
good.
that?
And when's the next EP coming out?
So we've got a release lined up for December. That's just gonna be like a single, or maybe a like a little mini EP, just like a single with like
Couple songs.
A and a B. As far as that goes, after that, we're gonna start working on our first album.
Right. Okay.
And we're gonna just, whenever that comes out, this release that we're working on has sort of been, testing our ability to accurately and efficiently record on our own, because we are recording this on our own. We're not going to a studio or anything, so it's just kind of like preparing us for the album is this release. So this one's set to come out December. The album is to be determined, however long it takes us. We're gonna make sure it's good.
Yeah, and then you guys talked about, I guess the gigging is getting in the way of making music. What else would you say gets in the way of making your music?
Scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What gets in the way of scheduling?
Well, we all like to keep our schedules full. Nathan works a job.
Yeah, I work full time, and Gavin is in school full time. Gabe's in school full time, and then we like all have our things that we do outside of school, and then we also have this. So it's like we're all juggling our work life and then our personal life and then this, and it becomes difficult. I mean, we try and meet up at least once a week.
We do.
And usually we do. Sometimes someone's out on a trip or vacation.
We also do 2 times a week sometimes as well. So
yeah, like this week we had 2. It wasn't with all 3 of us, but we did have 2 meetups this week. And like sometimes with certain things, like if we're recording like if we're like, say the other day we were recording drum parts, Gabe wasn't there. Like it was just me and Gavin, and we just like got together and we were able to work just the 2 of us on one thing. So if there is a schedule conflict, with like recording, we can always accommodate.
Right.
But when it comes to writing, we try to have all 3 of us be there.
It's pretty important for every member to be happy with what we're making and putting together. And also it's great to have a collective consensus and like different ideas being brought to the table in writing.
Yeah, and you definitely that's hard to get if not everyone's there. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it seems like you guys are making it work. I mean, once a week, that's definitely doable. I mean, a lot of bands don't even get that. So that's really awesome. And then as a band, where would you say are the biggest stages that you've played on so far?
Soma.
Probably Soma.
We just recently played on the Soma side stage.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. There was quite a lot of people there.
What do you so that was your biggest stage? What was your first big stage that you played on? Maybe not as big as Soma. And then what are your future big stages that you see your band getting to?
This is different for each of us, I feel like.
It's
different for me, I feel like.
As a band, our first like, okay, this is like kind of a big deal, was us playing at the Shea for the first time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. That'll be mine.
And that was also, I think that was also our drummer's last gig.
I was
Our
there. I
first
was
drummer.
in the crowd at that show. I was watching.
And he didn't even know.
That's kind of cool.
Well, no, I did know it was his last show.
Well, did you know that you didn't know you were going to join?
You didn't
the
know
band?
I
you
did.
got
Well,
picked.
I was talking to you guys, but I didn't know I was elected.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
I-
what future stages do you guys see yourself play on?
I want to play the Shea again.
I want to play the show again.
We just want to play the Shea
We haven't
more.
played this Shea in so long. Oh my god.
I want to play the Casbah.
Yeah.
we
Without fucking.
I would. There's so many stages that we would love to play on when us 2 are actually able to stay for the whole gig and we don't have to wait outside
It's not
because we're under
21
21.
plus.
Yeah.
This happened and it's kind of annoying that
Ken
he
Club.
gets to stay in, but we have to like wait outside. The musicians that like are like paid to be here have to wait outside is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah, I would like to, and I know this is an annoying commute, but if the show is good enough, I would love to play kind of branching out distance-wise and
I was gonna say that.
play in
like,
LA.
Yeah, like LA, Orange County, up there, north.
okay. And that sounds rad. 100%. What would you say, Gabe? I'm gonna go for you first. What song do you say that of your band that you guys have made represents you most, or your favorite song, just in general?
Amity.
What is it?
Amity.
Okay, got it. I will look into your.
It's the last song on our new EP.
Okay, got it. And then you.
We're all gonna have the same answer to this.
It's Amity.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, well then, if it's all the same, I need to know why.
It's our best song, dude.
It's so well rounded compared to our other songs.
It's got a wonderful structure that is just like we need to like
We had a stroke of
analyze it.
genius.
It's our lucky break.
Same.
And it was produced very well by the studio that we recorded it at.
Okay, I like that answer. Awesome. And if you could open for any band, I guess either locally or just in general, what would that band be? Just kind of fun questions right now.
Any band?
Oh, dude, Band Argument. I want to open for them.
And that's possible.
See, that's very realistic.
Band Argument.
Okay, that's a realistic one. What's an unrealistic one?
Jordy Grief.
Oh, Jordy Grief.
Jordy
Yeah.
Grief would be up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you guys have a favorite moment on stage so far?
Ooh, I don't know.
We've had a lot of shitty moments on stage.
I'd love to hear about that as well.
Where our hands were like gonna fucking fall off because of how cold it was.
Cold geese.
First song, I break a string.
Oh man.
Outdoors, it's like midnight on New Year's. We're freezing.
It's like 40 degrees out, and we're supposed to like
and
play
we're
a
in
gig
Fallbrook.
and it's raining, and we're supposed to like play a gig with these cold ass freezing hands. Best
Yeah,
moment on stage.
honestly, you know what? As shitty as that is in the moment, looking back, it's like honestly kind of fun.
Yeah.
To, like, play shows where you're just like freezing your ass off, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of a shitty
Yeah,
show,
and you're just
but-
there to like get
It's
out.
in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
Never go there.
Someone's
again.
muddy ass backyard. The drum set is just sinking into the mud.
There's like 5 dudes there.
And would that be included? I want to know what the funniest moment is. Is that kind of related at all?
Looking back, yes. but,
Honestly, no, there was this one show that we played where one of the middle bands or one of the opener bands went over like 10 minutes. And then like the next band took like 5 minutes extra to set up. And so we were closing. And so then by they got to us, it was like 30 degrees outside. And
that was, I think, our worst set ever.
and then we only had
like 15
we
minutes.
had 15 minutes to play, and all of our instruments were completely out of tune, and we like got words, and it was probably our worst set.
We
we've ever
played this. That was like
That was in the backyard.
that was an embarrassment, bro.
Where was that? Where did that happen?
That was up in.
That was in San Diego.
That was at STSU.
Yeah, that was at SDSU.
One more question. I saw on your page you have like 2 million views on one post. Give me the story behind that.
SpongeBob.
The
That's
SpongeBob video. So
That's
so
where half our followers are.
he
from.
wasn't there for that. That was when our old drummer was in the band. So Nathan got a lap steel, and that's the guitar you can see him playing. And the lap steel was used for a lot of like SpongeBob's little musical stingers.
Like a lot of the soundtrack from SpongeBob is all on pedal steel and lap steel, and
And so we had Nathan learn the SpongeBob sad song, and I was like, oh, what do they say in SpongeBob? Ah, bikini bottom. and so I gurgled some bubble noises while Nathan played it to do the transition sound effect, and then I went ah, bikini bottom.
and everyone loved it.
Thanks for listening. If you would like to read more about the band, visit the-telescope.com. Have a nice day, Comets.